Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Wicked Art. It's Wicked here, and it's Tiny Tuesday. And today we are going to draw Invader Zim. So let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so we're going to give him kind of a overly stylized expression. So we're just going to kind of come out and draw his head shape. So he's kind of got this kind of almost like a diamond shape to his head. It's really large, but what we're going to do is we're going to make him doing his usual bit of screaming or yelling. He does that a lot in the show. So if you don't know who his Invader Zim is, go look him up. Ask your parents, or if you are an adult and you're just following along, look it up. It's a good show. Anyway, Tiny Tuesdays, again, just as a reminder, is it's meant for more of a younger audience with an easier draw feel to it. But practice is practice. So we can do, even as an adult, we can draw these things. So we're going to draw his head really big, mouth wide open. It's going to come out a little bit more. We're going to draw that down. And we're going to give him a collar on his shirt. Just kind of connect that there. So that'll be our head for now, just with everything screaming. Then we're going to take this collar piece here, kind of come out, go down. I'm going to give him, he's got a lot of like basic shapes. So like for the shoulder here, you got a nice little basic shape there. The arm, it's just a basic cylinder, really long, lanky. So I'm going to draw that out as well. So we want it to kind of get smaller as we get to the glove. Okay, again, the glove is going to be like your basic kind of cone shape. Okay, and then once we get down to the hand, we're just going to give a basic shape to our hand as well. Okay, so we have that in there. And we're going to get our body. Want to make sure the collar comes out. And kind of put a curve down here. And then all you have to do is just kind of arch it over. Like that. And then we can run the other arm just right along the edge of the collar here. And we'll probably put the glove, we'll start it right here. So I can erase that part. Kind of come up. And yeah, we'll come to about right here. We'll come out, make that little thumb shape like that. And I angle it out. Arch that back. Right there. And do the hand. Okay. Now legs are easy enough. We just kind of arch down. Okay, and then from there we're going to draw our little boots as almost like a triangle. Like that. And then another basic triangle. Just like that. Okay. Now if you wonder why I don't have those separated, it's because if it's black, I'm just going to leave it as a silhouette more than anything else. Okay. I'm going to take our other leg here and come down. Again, we're going to get that kind of triangle shape for the boot. And we'll bring that down this way. Up into the foot like that. Okay, and then we have these three sections of his space outfit. We'll just divide it up that way. Okay. So now that I have all that, and I can come in here and kind of focus on the face a little bit. So Invader Zim has these really kooky, over-exaggerated expressions. So we're going to give him one of those. We're going to really extend the eye, like even past the mouth, which is just ridiculous. But, you know, again, that's just Invader Zim. And we can clean up the inside right there. Okay. And then the next thing I can do is I can start adjusting some things. Like I'm going to bring the mouth out a little bit more. Have that go down. Okay. And then I can make the teeth. They're kind of like a rounded, sharp shape. See a little bit of it coming from behind right there. And we're simply, just think of it almost like drips, right? Now I want to keep this even, so I'm going to come out with this one first. And I can erase that inside of that tooth right there. And then he has this really long, almost worm-like tongue. And it's very sharp angles to certain points, except for when you get like towards the end, it's more of like a sharp curve. I want to keep it kind of thin. Just come down that way. Then we just simply come in and put these curves along the tongue. Like that. Then of course we want to get his bottom teeth. Go ahead and clean up that part. So we have the mouth open, everything else, but we kind of got to give him that Zim, you know, angry expression. So we're going to come in here and give him kind of like a brow like this. Again, we're going to take the eyeball outside of the head and kind of square off and come back this, and then we can just arch that up to the eye right there. Okay. Then we just kind of have his little alien antennas here. And we'll fill those in later with a little bit more dark to them. Okay. So that's the simplicity of that. Now I'm going to take, you can use a regular ink pen if you want, but I'm going to take an ink pen to kind of give it that that look that he has. Hopefully I still have ink in these things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with these areas that are black. I'm just using a Sharpie pen, but you can use a regular ink pen or, you know, a good thick marker. I'm going to give myself a nice little outline. The leg and the boot. And then what I can do is just go ahead and we can just fill those in. Okay, so you're just going to work your way through. Fill in the boot and the leg. I'll be a solid black color. And the thing with these Sharpie pens, they're really not meant for coloring in like this. So if you do have a bigger black marker and an ink pen, it'll probably save you a little bit on there. Like I said, we'll just fill that in. Nice and solid. Okay. Now, key thing with the Zim's art design is he has these thicker lines that run through. So we're going to kind of thicken it up a little bit. Especially on that outside, going up, we want to make that a little bit thicker than usual. Okay, and we can do the same thing on the front. So as we come down and we get into this line, we want it to kind of curve into it. So get a nice thick line. Just kind of curve that in. On all three of those lines, we're going to kind of curve into it. we'll come and connect it right here. Kind of thicken it up a little bit. Okay. Then we're just going to add a little bit of thickness. To these lines coming across. Okay. Now before I move farther up, I'm going to come down in here and we're going to fill in our leg and boot down here as well. I like outlining it first just so kind of like a coloring book I have something to go off of as to where the edge is. Let's just start filling that in black. And we will continue to work our way out. And once that's in there nice and solid, just continue to move up the leg until that is completely black. And the reason why I'm doing this with the ink is because, like I said, the style just kind of calls for that. And then if you wanted to, you could look up a picture of Zim if you wanted to fill in the rest of the color. Okay. So again, other areas we want to kind of add some thickness to the line work. And we'll go around the arm. And we'll just continue that out. Okay. The next thing I want to do is we want to add some line work into the arm. Not as many as like what we did with the tongue, just enough to give it that stripe pattern. Okay. And we'll outline the gloves, which the gloves are going to be just like the boot and the leg. It's just going to be black and filled in. Just take your time, fill it in, make it look nice. Now I understand the video's a little longer, but still, it'll be worth it when you're done. Okay, so nice and solid there. Again, we want to continue that kind of change of thickness. So like where we kind of start off thick, come out to a point, and come back out, and increase our thickness this way. And we'll just take that out into the arm. Okay, and then we want to kind of have the same amount of lines here. Going up the arm. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing. We should only have one more area to color in completely black, and that's going to be the inside of the mouth. So just go ahead, start filling in your hand, nice and black. Alright, just continue down the arm. That nice and solid right in there. Okay, so now we can move on to the head. Again, we want to have a little thickness in the mouth, right in here. Run that down. We can just simply outline the inside of the mouth because that whole inside area is just going to get filled in black anyway. I want to give the eyes a nice thick line as well too. We'll just outline the teeth. Come down the mouth right here. Again, add like a little bit of thickness to the teeth lines on the edge that'll be showing. And we're going to thicken up the eye edges. Try to do your best to keep it even. You don't want it to be, too loose and sketchy of an edge. You want it to be more solid. Okay. I'm going to come off the head here. And we'll just continue taking that up. Decently thick line. Meet that there with the head. Then what we want to do is, like, especially like back here at the end, I'm going to thicken that up just a little bit more. That's just at this portion of the back of the head. And we can come out this way, because we want it to kind of have like a buggy antenna feel. So we'll kind of turn that into a triangular shape. Like that at the end. Kind of like that. And then we'll do the same down here for this antenna. And give a sharp point. And take that out that way. Okay. Now we're going to thicken up our teeth here. And come down the tongue. Okay, so just to this point where, the mouth is still there, we don't have to have so much thickness to it. But we can come through and work in our tongue lines here. Okay. And then as we work our way out of the mouth, obviously we can add a little bit of thickness to that line. And we'll come out this way. Then we can just finish out our lines on the tongue. Just like that. And then before I go in and finish off the mouth, I'm just like the inside part, I'm going to go ahead and get the top part of the face here. Right, thicken up this corner a little bit where the mouth kind of goes over the teeth. And just connect that there like that. Then we can get our eye. We're going to keep that line thin. And then we're going to work our way out to a thickness on the eye. So a little bit thicker on the outer edge. And then kind of thin it up as you work your way in. Like that. We'll thicken up this outside edge over here more. Like that. Okay. So the last part with the ink pen is going to be just filling in the inside of the mouth. Again, if you have a marker or something, that might be easier for you to do it that way. Just make sure that you put something under your sketchbook, just so it doesn't bleed through, all the way. But you just want to make sure when you fill it in, you get it nice and dark, so there's not any, spotty areas. But yeah, just make sure that if you are using a marker, especially like the Crayola, or if you're using alcohol markers, they tend to bleed through your paper. So your best bet is to put something underneath. So I'm going to finish coloring the next side of his mouth. And what that'll do is it'll help the tongue stick out a little bit more, but also just give it some more depth and cartooniness to it. More in the style of Invader Zim. Just fill in that gap right there. And we'll start to work our way out towards the edge. Again, it's taking me a little longer than probably taking you if you're using a marker. Just because I'm using this tiny pen head, but I like the way the ink looks, and I'm gonna do something today I usually don't do. I owe you guys some videos since I had to take almost a month off to finish some projects. So I think I'm actually gonna color this in today. I hope you want to stick around for that too and kind of color along. Now obviously we're not going to have the same markers, so you can kind of pick and choose, what colors you want to use. But yeah, I think I'm gonna use my alcohol markers today and test out something. Cause see, I'm always learning new things, and one of the things I learned is I'm using my alcohol markers wrong. I always wondered, what the gray ones are for, and I saw some stuff where you can use the gray first to kind of get your shadows in there, and then just color over the top of the gray with whatever color you got, and it'll blend it, pretty much right in. So I'll probably start with the grays first and give that a shot. It'll be a good test to see if it's true. Am I truly been doing it wrong? We are almost done. Hopefully I don't run out of ink here. Coloring that in. And I think that'll do it for that. Okay. So next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to bust out my Woohoo markers. I don't know. They're the cheapest ones you can get on Amazon. They're actually pretty affordable. Let's do, if you guys have a gray, just kind of find a gray. I'm going to try to find something to put under my sketchbook here with another sketchbook. Okay. So we're going to see how well this actually works. So I'm just going to go ahead. If you have the Oahu markers, I'm using the GG5 green gray. But if you just have regular markers, just use gray. See if it'll work. It's always fun to test and experiment. See how things work out. So remember, I'm just using the gray to kind of give a shadow to the image. And we want to take that up to the arm. Right there. Okay, and we're not going to put like a ton of shadows, just like more of like major features like the face. And the tongue and the eyes, stuff like that. So I know this whole back side of the head, I want to get a little bit of the edge of the eye here. Just got to be careful though, because if I mess up, there is definitely no erasing what I've done. So let's just go ahead and we'll color that in. Okay, and then I want to get like a point on the eye here. And then a little bit right underneath, like that. Now I am going to do something to help me. I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to very, very lightly, I'm going to draw in some glare on the eye. So it's essentially just a circle within a circle kind of thing to kind of give it a little sheen. I'm very carefully going to draw that in. And put another one down here. And then over here on this eye, put in another one there. And one there like that. So now I know what to go around with on the shadow. So like I want to take this and go up and around this part. Kind of turn that down. I'm going to go around those areas. I wanted to be like a glare. Kind of like that. Okay, and then I'm just going to simply take this corner area of the eye. Just like that. Okay. So the next thing is we'll need like kind of a pink color. So I'm just going to kind of test and see what I got here. Okay, so this is the number 9 pale pink. Okay, so I'm going to color in his outfit here. You know what I forgot to do now that I'm thinking about what he wears? I forgot to put his little backpack thing on him. I'm going to see if I can draw that in real quick. Okay, so he has like this little round backpack that's kind of coming off. Let's kind of go down this way. And then we can make a little circle right here. One more there. And I can take my ink pen again. Let's come in and kind of thicken up that outer edge a little bit more than the inside. Like that there. Okay. I'm going to take that green gray again and give a little shadow right in here. A little bit under the arm. And stop on the top there. Okay. Now I can switch back to this pink. This pale pink. And we'll fill in inside here. Okay, I'm going to get this collar the same color. And we'll do the arms right in here. Now it's okay if you kind of color this over your ink pen, but you want to just be careful because sometimes it'll drag that ink in there and darken certain areas that you don't want darkened. And that can be a problem. Okay. Now I do know instead of white, I'm going to use that kind of pale pink on the eyes here in the glare. Just because I don't think I have a pink that's lighter than that, and I don't want to really use pure white. Because of the color of his actual eyes. That's why we're going for the tint that we're going for. Okay, so next thing I want to do is we want to kind of find like a reddish pink. Let me try this one. Let's see what this looks like. Nope, that's a little too pink. I'll just bear with me here. See what this peach looks like. No, it's not really the color I'm looking for. Let's try this. Let's try vivid pink. Vivid pink is pretty close. We might go with that one. Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with the vivid pink, so it's a number 6. Vivid pink. So it's really supposed to be kind of more of a reddish pink, and depending on like what sets you get, you may not get exact color you're looking for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint over the gray, and it should just fill it in. I'm going to use the bigger chiseled side here. See how it goes over the gray? It should just make the shadow for me. So I guess it does work. So I'm just going to finish brushing over the edge there. Just want to be careful when I get to these smaller areas using this bigger pen. I don't want to brush up into that area. So let's fill that in a little bit more. I'll leave any white in there. Okay, now I know I want to do eyes, the same color. We're still using the vivid pink even on the eyes. And we're going to go over the gray area to give us our shadow. We'll see how that does. Gives us a nice little cool blend there. And I could test out some of the other grays too, like maybe not shoot for the green ones, like see if there's just a traditional gray, or maybe even like a blue gray. There we go. Eyes filled in. Now we're going to kind of look for a yellow green, alien green, to go with this skin on, like maybe even a mint green. Let's see what this pale green looks like. It might be the one we need. Well, it is not very pale. Let's see. What's the spectrum green look like? No, not quite there. Try one more. We'll just go. Let's go with the mint light green. It is so blue. Some of these names I come up with this stuff. So we're just going to use this yellow green, number 48. And I'm going to use that on the skin. Actually, let's use the chisel end. So his skin's technically a little bit of a lighter green than this. But this is as close as I can get it. So apologies to any of you Invader Zim purists out there. I did try. Just don't have the correct markers for it. So we'll just fill that in over the top there. Yeah, it's close enough green though. Let's paint that in. Nice green Invader Zim color there. Got some shadow on it. Now we just need to kind of get this vivid purplish color maybe. Yeah, that's gonna work. So the tongue, I'm gonna use, you can just use a purple or a violet. It's number 85, a vivid purple. We're just gonna color that right in. So I'm finishing that up. If you like what you saw today and you want to see more, or you just want different art lessons, perspective, how to draw certain characters, leave me a comment. It's going to help me out. It doesn't just help the channel, it helps me out. So I know what to make for you guys so that you know, can tell me what you want to see. See what this pale, I'm going to color his backpack with this pale blue, number 77. So yeah, just leave me a comment. Let me know if you liked the video. If you learned anything, let me know. Like I said, I'm always striving to give you the content that you want to see, what you want to learn. If you don't leave me a comment, what ends up happening is I just do this. I just kind of randomly wing it. Not really having a plan or goal in mind. So yeah, just let me know what you think. We can have a conversation. Also, maybe you want me to do live streams or something like that. Just let me know down in the comments. But I'm just going to sign this thing. I hope you guys had fun today. Hope you learned something. Until next time, remember to keep on sketching. And I will see you in the next video. All right? Bye.